Hey guys, Kid Broly, yeah, here, and sorry I didn't record yesterday, but yeah, I don't always have the freedom to record whenever I want, because I have school and stuff like that. So yeah, uh, I promised this guy that I would give him a shout out on my channel. He has pretty cool videos, and his name is Zamzul Zan Zane. Sorry, I haven't looked at the slide in a while. I mean, I made the slide like yesterday. I was planning on doing one yesterday. But, uh, it's the exact spelling too, down there, where I put shout out. So yeah, this is what if Deku was a girl and stayed quirkless. So yeah, it was hard to find, good pictures of girl Deku. But, found some. And I'm not giving up my ship for the series. Well, probably not until the second episode. But yeah, let's see. Deku's basically just going to... I don't know, but Deku... I'm just going to say Deku and Bakugo are going to be better friends in this one. Mostly because Bakugo has a crush on Deku. So yeah. Deku's basically just going to be pretty good friends with Bakugo. And once, Bakugo hears that Deku's planning going to UA, he's basically furious at her. And basically, says to Deku, you are planning going to UA even though you're quirkless. Let the actual heroes go through with it. Or just let me go through with it so I can protect you in the future. And Bakugo's blushing a little. And Deku basically says, no, I want to become the first quirkless hero. And she's basically been training her whole life to become the first quirkless hero. So yeah, she's been doing this intense training. I don't know the exact training that she would be going through, but it basically would be staying training on steroids. Let's put it at that. And she's been training her entire life with this training policy. So she has weights on all the time. And they're like, what should it be? 700 kilos. She has 5 weights on all the time, and each one is 700 kilos apiece. So yeah, she's pretty powerful. She's pretty strong. She basically, says to Bakugo, I'm stronger than you, right? And Bakugo says, you can't be stronger than me. You are quirkless. And then Deku basically says, okay, let's spar outside. And Bakugo just wants to show her that she can't become a hero without a quirk. And he says, okay, but I'll go easy on you. And then Deku and Bakugo walk outside. And, Deku basically, just rolls up her sleeves. And then hits she basically takes off this grapple thing, this buckle, sorry, can't think of the word. And it falls to the ground and makes a humongous smoke cloud. And then she takes all of them off and tells Bakugo, can I go inside real quick into the changing rooms? And Bakugo asks why. I have one more weight on, not, but it's going to be, I don't want you to see anything. That's what, Deku's going to say. And Bakugo is going to say, oh, I understand. Then she goes inside, takes the last one off, and basically just throws it to the ground. And I'm going to say that one's actually a little heavier. I'm going to say it's like 800 kilos. I don't know how much a kilo is, but I'm going by Dragon Ball, standards. So yeah, I'm going to say she's as strong as, Goku while facing Raditz. So yeah, that's actually strong. Not as strong as All Might, but still very strong. So Deku basically, takes them off and basically just ties like a bandage, ties some wrap around her. I forget what it's called, but it's like that bandage kind of stuff that people tie around. Their girls usually tie around their chest when they're going to fight. So yeah, Deku basically does that. And Bakugo is shocked that Deku was wearing not that much heavy stuff. And I don't know what Deku's training is going to be, but I'm going to say that Deku's training is basically just going to be her fighting with swords and stuff like that. She's going to be trying to jump wall to wall, like parkour. She's going to be pretty good at parkour with the weights on. Like, she's going to be able to jump building to building. Well, not exactly building to building with all the weights on, but, what I mean, like, just jump from rooftop to rooftop. So, yeah. And then Deku basically, once she takes her weights off, I'm going to say that she basically says, it's been a while since I've taken those weights off. And then she just says, can I test something out real quick? And Bakugo says, yeah, why? Then she's basically just going to jump from building to building, jump from wall to wall on the building. And basically going to jump like 7 kilometers in the sky with a light jump. So, yeah. And then she's basically going to do that, she's basically going to practice, her martial, she's basically going to, punch in the air. Like she was actually fighting someone, And she's doing it around 700 miles per hour. Yeah, I want to say 700 miles per hour her punches are hitting, but her running speed is a little more like 800 miles per hour. So, yeah. And that's just me rough estimating. You guys actually can put how you think the speed would go. So, yeah. Deku's basically just going to, Deku's just basically going to whip Bakugo's butt. Basically just one good punch to the face, Bakugo's knocked out. And Bakugo is asking, how did you get this strong? And then Deku says, well, wait and lots of time. So, Bakugo is going to say, you shouldn't be this strong if you're quirkless. How did you get this strong? And Deku would say, I just told you. Just lots upon lots of training. And Bakugo is going to be shocked on this. Because he's been thinking that he was going to be the one that's going to protect Deku. And Deku really knows, that Bakugo had, feelings towards her, but, uh, okay, let's go to the slime villain attack. Deku's basically walking home because she didn't want to use her full speed, but she just didn't want to, break this, well, not break this sound barrier, but to 800 miles per hour, I'm pretty sure that's like almost a sound barrier. That's like the speed of some fighter jets, which usually break the sound barrier, don't they? So around sound barrier breaking. Deku's basically just going to be walking home and just sorry, I had something caught in my throat. Well, Deku's basically just going to be walking home. The slime villain basically Tressa says, your body's going to be mine. You're going to help me escape this city, kid. And basically, Deku just jumps out of the way. Well, jumps back a little bit. I'm going to say that All Might just arrives at this moment. And basically, says, kid, are you alright? And basically, the slime villain, All Might is basically looking back to see if she's alright, and he says, I'm fine. And the slime villain didn't even get to attack me. And All Might basically says good, and then just does Texas Smash! And then, no, the slime villain basically gets knocked out. All Might's basically going to say, to Deku, at least you didn't get hurt, and do you want my autograph? Deku's going to say, no, I don't want your autograph, while drinking, some black coffee. I don't know why I've been doing this in my latest series, but it's just basically, a thing I want to do. I basically have, a caffeine addiction, so I want Deku to have, but, a kind of caffeine addiction. Well, loves caffeine. So, Deku's basically, going to, Deku's basically going to ask All Might, can I be a hero without a quirk? And All Might would say, kid, you can't become a hero without a quirk. And then he deflates the slime villains in the bottle, by the way. And Deku basically is saddened, but isn't discouraged. I'm going to say that Deku actually grabbed onto his leg, so they weren't in the street if you didn't pick up on that. So that whole attack with the whole slime villain attack with Bakugo still happens. And basically, once Deku hears that, she basically, just is boom, popped off. And then boom, popped off, unstrapped. She just unstrapped all of her weight. And she basically had it under the weight under her shirt, basically. She just unbuckled and then just pulled down, I'm going to say. And then it just made a humongous crater, all of those weights. So then Deku basically, ran to get Bakugo out of the slime villain, was running at her top speed, which is around the sound barrier. And just, Deku just got Bakugo out of the slime villain, and then the heroes basically just tried to take down the slime villain. And all of them ask what her quirk is, and she says, I'm quirkless. And basically, yeah, she says, I'm going to be the first quirkless hero. And then she basically walks back to the crowd and then just straps back on each weight. And they basically say, oh, that's how she's so strong. And they all ask, how heavy are those weights? And she says 700 kilos each, besides the vest weight. It's 801 kilos. 850 kilos. And the wrist ones and leg ones are now 750 kilos. So, yeah. And then they basically are saying 750 kilos each for arms and legs, and 850 for a vest? This kid is definitely insane. And she's basically just going to do basically the same thing that she did when she was, unstrapping the vest one to strap it back on. And everyone's going to basically, say that she is insanely OP. And she's basically going to she's basically going to, what's the word? Apprehended? No. Basically a slap on the wrist for doing that because she's quirkless. But even though she has super strength equal to almost equal to All Might's. And, yeah. Then when All Might, sees that, demonstration, he basically says to her, you will be my successor. And she basically declines the offer to be the All Might successor and says, I want to be the first quirkless hero. And basically, she just doesn't do it. And All Might says, at least let me train you. And Deku basically says, okay, I'll let you train me. And then she basically, just goes out to the beach and basically, takes like half of the entire garbage pile with one hand. Basically, that's how strong she is with the weight on. Because she's using lighter weights this day. Because she would want to do more, She just basically lifts half of that with one arm and then just throws it against the beach. And everyone's basically seeing her do that and saying, oh, isn't she that quirkless girl that saved that kid? How is she doing that without a quirk? And she basically says, I have lighter weights on today. They're like 300 kilos a piece. And they're all saying 300 kilos a piece. And that she basically got rid of all of the trash in a couple of minutes. And All Might says, kid, you have way too much power. Even for All For One, you're about equal to my strength without All For One. One for all. Yeah, I always get those two things mixed up, Easy mistake. Deku's basically just going to... Deku's just going to go to the entrance exams with like a pound of coffee. Well, not a pound, but like a lot of coffee, because I'm going to say that she woke up pretty early. Well, earlier than usual to get prepared for it. And she really needed the coffee that day. She usually gets up at 4 a.m. to train. Well, no, not 4 a.m., but 1 a.m. to train. She got up at midnight because of that day. And she didn't really train that day. She was basically taking a day of rest. Well, not a day of rest. Oh, and that all happened in the 10 months, I'm going to say. She really didn't do anything in the 10 months besides that training and her own training. And she basically took like a week of, like 2 days of a day of rest that entire time. And then once the entrance exams happened, she basically got like, I'm gonna say that she got 95% on the tests that were in the exam. And in the practical exam, she basically took off all of her weights, and then she basically, just ran throughout the entire thing. Just one good punch to one robot, knocked out 15 3-pointers. All those were 3-pointers. So, yeah. You guys can do the math. I don't have a calculator here, so, yeah. 15 3-pointers, so, yeah. And then Deku basically, just was running around destroying every robot. And once she saw Ochako was under a pile of rubble, she basically just was jumping wall to wall. Building to building. Wall to wall from building to building. And then just punched the robot with all of her might. She kicked it with all of her might because the legs are the strongest muscle in the entire body. Well, one of the strongest muscles in the entire body. And she basically, gets like 60 rescue points for destroying the robot. And then she basically, jumps off the face of the robot. And then just does like a 220, barrel rolls in the sky. Not barrel rolls, but flips. And then lands on her feet. She is seriously good at acrobatics, I'm going to say. So, yeah. And then she basically pulls, the rubble off of Ochako. And then Ochako asks what her quirk is. And Deku basically says that she's quirkless. And Ochako basically... No, wait, Oraka. Oraka basically says, how can you be quirkless if you were doing all that stuff? Just lots upon lots of training. And she basically, just walks off. And she got like 660 points from, 85 points for rescue points. And she already has like 9,500? No, not like 360, points already. So she's from the rescue points, like 400 to 40, 5 points for, she's going to have 445 points. So the highest in UA history in the practical exam. So, yeah. Deku's just basically going to get really high points. She already had the highest points in UA history. Once she, since she had, like 360 points already. Like, All Might's was like 280, I want to say. So she got even higher than All Might. So, yeah. And I'm going to say that Deku's basically going to be hanging out with Bakugo. Because, Deku's going to see them as pretty good friends. And Bakugo is hoping to be more than friends. And, should I do that? Yeah, I should. Would I say that Deku is basically just going to be studying how to make a business, and figures out a product. How to make a product. Like a support item. Basically, yeah, since she's quirkless, she's basically like a ball, all rounded. She has to become smarter so she can use her strength to the best of her ability. So, yeah. She's basically going to be studying how to make some electronics. And I'll have to figure out what the electronic, the support gear is. So, like, in the next video. But you guys can, suggest some items. But I'm just going to say that she's going to basically make like a gem stabilizer. Yeah, for people that don't have bodies, like the slime villain, like people that are made out of substance, you know. So she's basically going to make some gear that will be able to staple, to basically get rid of their form. So yeah, basically make their form all mushy and stuff so they can't control their body. She's basically going to create one of those because she wants people to, feel safe without quirks. Especially with villains like that. So yeah, she had that bright idea after the slime villain attack. And then Deku basically makes that item, and then basically she brands it. She's basically going to be wearing this mask type thing. Yeah, and she's going to have her hair like, she's basically going to have a hoodie on and a mask. And she's basically going to have her, chest all tied up. So they're going to think that she's a boy. And she's going to have like a voice, what's the word? Well, a voice changer. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's basically going to change her voice to sound like a boy's. So, yeah. She's basically going to have one of those. And basically going to say that, she's basically going to brand it as as the EX series. Yeah, I just had to come up with something on the spot. She's basically going to call her company EX Set Ultimate. No, that sounds like a game, but EX maybe EX. Oh my gosh, that's basically like it's like the sporting games if I think now that I think about it. But it's like that's actually the first thing that came to my mind. But how about Torch? Because she's going to be the brightness of the future. The technology brightness of the future. That's going to be their slogan. We're going to be the future's light or something like that. And basically she's going to have like all these stuff. She's going to basically make PCs and stuff like that for people. I'm going to say that they are basically working on, they're working on 6G at this moment. And Deku actually figured out how to make 6G and brand it off, So yeah, she's going to make her company well-rounded. And after this, she's going to be around the same level of Momo and richness. So yeah. Deku's basically just going to go to... I'm going to say that happens in the 10 months, though. Because I can't think of anything else to do. So, yeah. Deku basically just, well, Deku just, I don't know. But I have something for the future now. And Deku also was planning on working on Cybertech. I don't know if that's actually the name of a company in the real world or not, but she's working on, like, cybernetics and stuff like that. And she's basically going to, well, the first day of UA, she's going to be in class 1A. And everyone's going to be basically, yeah, talking. And once Aizawa basically comes in, he's going to say, quiet down, class. And say, no food or drinks in here. I mean, no food or drinks are allowed in my class. And looking at, Deku. And Deku basically says, it's early. Yeah, it's only some coffee. And Aizawa says, no excuses. And Deku basically says, next time I'll bring you a cup if you want. And he's basically going to take that bribe. And he says, fine, if you're bringing me one next time. Well, if there is a next time. And basically explains the whole thing. And Deku basically is, I mean, everyone's shocked, like, in canon besides Deku. She's, basically, calm and cool. And basically, Aizawa says, okay, let's get the first place. Let's have the first place winner do the ball test. And then once Deku basically grabs the ball, she basically, chucks it at a good enough angle to get, like, she's basically going to be studying angles and stuff like that too. She's basically going to get a good enough angle to basically throw it and get it to 9,000 meters. Yeah, like 9,000 meters. No, 9,001 meters. So it's over 9,000. That one's so funny to me. But yeah, she actually gets like 9,001 meters. The highest in the class besides, Araka's. And in the running test, she gets first place again. Because she basically is going Mach. She's basically going Mach 1. And they're all wondering what her quirk is. And basically, Deku is also going to be, well, in the, in that long jump test, she gets like 8. She basically, says if it's okay to take her weights off. And, well, no, she already has her weights off. So she basically jumps 8,001 meters. So it's over 8,000. That one's funny to me too. But yeah, she gets 8,001 meters in the jumping test. The highest in the class. And basically, in the strength test, she basically, breaks the whole thing. She basically just, does like it at 3% strength. And then the entire machine just breaks down. So, yeah. Deku is really OP in this one. And, yeah. Everyone's going to be wondering what her quirk is. They're all going to think she has a super strength quirk. But, they're just going to be wondering what's the name of it. So, and what else it can do. Then they're going to think it's a super genius quirk because she's also in class 1B. Like 50%, like some of the time. So, yeah, she's in those two classes. And everyone's basically wondering how she can not be that smart at the same time of having a super strength quirk. Or, yeah, they believe she has a super strength quirk. And Deku basically is going to say to all of them that she has no quirk. Yeah, because she thinks that they're all thinking that she's basically reading the room. And then Bakugo just cuts in and says that, she was born quirkless. This is all thanks to dedication and a lot upon a lot of training. And they're all like, how? So they all are throwing quirks out the window because, quirks, you don't need a quirk to be strong in that world. Well, you do, but you don't at the same time. So, yeah, they're all just going to be, thinking that it's impossible for her to be that strong without a quirk. And she basically says that you can look at my medical records for me to prove it. Basically, she shows the second joint in her toe. And they're all like, why? I mean, how do you have a second joint in your toe? And she basically says that's proof that I'm quirkless and never could develop a quirk. And all of them are just blown away at this, And let's just go to the fighting exam. Deku and Oraka basically get picked same, all the fights are the same. So, yeah. Bakugo and Deku are basically just going to fight. Deku basically just punches, so, like, once, she sees Bakugo, she basically just punches Bakugo as hard as she can. She basically has her weights off at this point. He knows that he shouldn't mess with her weights off. She's around All Might strength. Well, I'm saying around because, it's a rough estimate. But, oh my god, I am half tempted to give her Ki. I am half tempted to give her Ki at this time. Vote if you want her to have Ki. I am putting a poll for sure for Ki. But, yeah. Deku basically is going to just fight through it the entire exam. And basically, she touches the bomb by, just knocking both of them out too. Deku basically just Bakugo basically makes a plan for them to jump Deku and knock her out by basically exploding her, like with that super strength explosions. So yeah, it's like, because that's just going to knock her out, not even harm her that much. Like, it's going to do a little bit of mental. It's going to basically, they're going to hope that there's going to be like something in the way, like a frying pan or something. So yeah, and then Deku basically, yeah, ask basically Deku, since they're going to have their hero costumes, Deku's just going to have like a suit, well, not suit, but a just regular costume, like just like I like just some casual clothes or something like that. But no, it's going to be basically nanobites. Like, it's going to be regular clothes, but they have nanobots. I mean, not nanobites. Sorry, but yeah, and they're basically just going to be forming some clothes that are tougher than steel and is as flexible as paper. So yeah. And then basically, they can also do these miraculous things, like if she, puts her arm out, yeah, they basically can not just create a weapon like a sword for her. Like, they're gonna have pretty thick sleeves, so, yeah. And she's basically going to be slicing and stuff like that. And, yeah. That's basically going to be her primary weapon, a katana. Because she's going to be pretty good at martial arts and the sword, combat. Because swords, they're a good weapon, if you think about it. And they're not as frowned upon as guns. So, yeah. Deku's basically just going to be, slicing, like, Bakugo's gauntlets in half. And she's basically going to be running at her full speed, and then just slice the gauntlets off with one movement. And the sword basically just turns back into a, sleeve right afterwards. And they're all wondering how she's doing that. And she basically says, my newest invention. And Bakugo is saying, your newest invention? I've not seen any of your other inventions. Why haven't you told me you've been inventing things lately? And she basically says, I've been inventing things for a while. Thought you would have known. And basically, she, says that she basically can do they're nanobots that are they're as durable as steel and as flexible as paper. And she can control them with thought because she got a chip implant, basically, like a implant in her brain that basically allows her to control the nanobots. So yeah, it's not even a risky procedure. It's a pretty good procedure. Deku's basically just going to say that, and she's basically going to just go and get like a hilt, and then just knock Bakugo out with it. Well, she could do it with her fist, but a hilt, she was using like 1% of her strength. So, yeah. She just didn't want him to be all bludgeoned and stuff like that. So, yeah. And Deku basically just gets the bomb. Ina basically is just pissed his pants and just ran away at this point. So, yeah. Yeah. That's it. For this part. And go to Samuel Zane's channel. He's a pretty cool guy, and he has pretty cool content. So, see you guys later, and peace.